Good afternoon, dear applicants, and welcome to the webinar of the Master Program International Business in the Asia-Pacific region. So let me introduce myself. My name is Professor Veselova Lyudmila Sergeyevna. I'm Academic Director of this Master Program. So today I will tell you more about our program, and Elsa will tell you about peculiarities of application process to the program. So first of all, let me tell you evolution of our program. So our program was created in 2017, and at the beginning it was a program which main specialization was Asian and African studies. So at first the name of the program was State, Society and Economic Development in Modern Asia. Then 1 year later, so in 2018, so we renamed the program and it had a name, Business and Politics in Modern Asia. And as you could see, specialization also was Asian and African Studies. From last year, we decided that we need to make our program even more applied than it was before and actually combine together two master programs. So the first one is International Business and the second one, Business and Politics in Modern Asia. And from 2023 in the HEC, in the School of Economics and Management, so we have a new program which called International Business in the Asia-Pacific region with specialization management. So it's very important to understand that the training period of our program is 2 years and we are fully offline program. So normally our education started at 1440 and of course our students has possibility to work. But at the same time you should pay attention that you should have just part-time job or job which allow you to be very flexible, because in any case so we have right to put our classes started from 2:40. So the language of instruction of our program is English, and from last year we have two trajectories which you could see on the screen. So both trajectories are English taught. So the first one is International Business Operations in the Asia-Pacific, and another one is the Business Innovations in the Asia-Pacific markets. So what are the difference in these two trajectories? So normally we understand that different students from different specializations from different universities are interested in our master program. So this is why we realized that sometimes you don't have previous bachelor education in management. So if you are interested in management and before you didn't study it, so we recommend you to apply to International Business Operations in Asia Pacific. So this trajectory is for you. If previously you already studied management, so you had all the basic disciplines and you just want to deepen your knowledge in exactly this region of Asia Pacific, so in this case, of course, we encourage you to apply to another trajectory, Business Innovations in Asia Pacific. So, like you know that HEC website are very interactive and we try to put there as much information as possible. So if you would like to know more about the disciplines and classes which we have on different trajectories, it's very easy to do. You just need to go to our official website of the program and there you will find all the information about disciplines from both of the trajectories. And in any case, before the applying process, you will be able to check which trajectory suits you better. So quite often we receive questions from students. So what to do, for example, if I apply to International Business Operations and then I realize that actually I'm interested in another one. So it's not a problem, and here we are also flexible. So during 1 month, from September to October, you will have chance to check one more time the curriculum, the disciplines, to talk with professors and to decide on which trajectory you would like to be. So during the first months of the study, we will have opportunity to make changes and to put you from one trajectory to another. But of course we encourage you during the application process, and you will have the full summer for this, so you will be able to check all the disciplines and to decide from the beginning on which trajectory you would like to be. It's very important, and here I would like to make you advise. So when you will prepare a motivation letter during the application process, in motivation letter, exactly write which trajectory are you mostly interested in and why. So in any case, you will need to check the documents, so please pay attention to this. So Elsa, I would like to tell a few words about available places for 2024. So here on the slide you could see that last year we have 30 state-founded places, 10 self-founded places, and also some places for foreigners. So we are lucky one because this year we saved all the places for Russian students, and this year the same like the last one. So we have 30 state-founded places for Russian students and 10 self-founded places. So of course we will wait all of you. What is important to understand? If you are still thinking so to which program to apply and if our program suits to you or not, so here you could see to whom we actually like project and make this program. So if you are interested in developing business, political and cultural relationship with such countries as China, Japan, India, South Korea and other Asia-Pacific countries, so this program is for sure for you. So we included a number of different disciplines which will provide you very deep knowledge of these countries, and also we will explain you what are the relationship of Russia with these countries, because it's very, very important to understand it in nowadays in this political reality. Then, of course, if you would like to expand your knowledge of economic management and political trends in our country and the world, so our program else will provide you this opportunity. We pay a very huge attention to cross-cultural management, and of course we have a lot of disciplines about regional issues, culture of Asian nations, and we always try to provide information to our students about peculiarities of making business with Asia-Pacific region. From my personal background, for more than 10 years I worked in business before coming to academia, before starting to work in the HEC. So as a business person, I understand how important to receive really applied knowledge about the business process and how it is important to know the culture and values of your business partners, especially when we talk about like Asian countries. So this is why, of course, we pay a lot of attention to these topics. Then, of course, we provide a lot of classes about international business, digital transformation, e-commerce development, and many other like topics which you need to know if you would like to make your career in management sphere. If you would like to improve your communication skills, so especially in interaction with Asian partners and colleagues from other countries, so of course we will help you. So I think the biggest advantage of our program is that the medium of instruction is English language. Also for students we provide classes of Chinese language. So for those of you who never studied Chinese and just wanted to study from the beginning, we will provide classes for Chinese language for beginners. For those of you who already started Chinese language and has certificate of HSK 4 or just knowledge of Chinese language from like near HSK 4, we will provide a special discipline which called business Chinese language. So you will be able on any level of your education, so deepen the knowledge of the Chinese language, because we consider that nowadays China is a major partner of Russia. So this is why it's very, very important to know the language of our partners. So of course, if you would like to get the skills to create and implement the new business models of companies, and if you would like to know how Russian and foreign companies so react to global challenges, so of course our program is also for you. So in fact, all of the HEC students has a lot of opportunities, and honestly speaking, I always a little bit jealous to my students, because for modern youth you have so many options, so many chances to make your life better and to receive really great job offers. So in the HEC we have elective disciplines and electives. What does it mean? It means that we have a core curriculum. So we have a study plan where some classes are fixed, some very important classes. But then we will provide you opportunity to choose some of the disciplines from your own like wish, because we understand that some of you would like to deepen your knowledge, for example, in HR practices. Another one would like to know more about the logistics. So some of you maybe would like to deepen your knowledge in psychology or something like from humanities. So in the HEC we have this Magalega track where students can check different disciplines which are not correlated with their specialization. For example, in our case it's management. And of course we provide opportunity to every of you have the ability to build an individual learning path. What does it mean? It means that it doesn't matter how many students we will have on the program. I'm sorry. all of you will have some individual study plan, because you will have a number of electives, so it means that you will be able to choose different classes. So at the end, when you will receive the diploma, you will see that every of your classmates will have totally different disciplines in your diplomas. Also, in the HEC, we have opportunities to have additional education, and we have a number of different courses, and students of the HEC have a lot of different discounts, so this is why it also can help you to broaden your knowledge. And of course, for those of you who would like to be entrepreneur, or maybe you now already entrepreneur, so we provide opportunity to participate in different business tracks, business incubators. You will be able to take part in different startup projects, and of course participate in international case championships. So if you still now not sign up for the HEC, if you are not in our VK groups, so I really advise you to sign up, because there we publish a lot of information and you will be able to know more about life of HEC students and professors, and about options and opportunities we have. So despite the fact that our program is really applied oriented, we know that a lot of the students would like to pursue their career in academia. So this is why, of course, we provide a lot of research opportunities. So you could see that we have project activities, and annually, so we have more than 170 projects. So students are able to choose projects from different campuses of the HEC. And I would like to remind you that we have campus in Moscow, Nizhny Novgorod, and Perm. So you will have chances to communicate with colleagues and professors with totally different campuses. We also have student expeditions, and for example, just recently, I guess next month, so some of our students will go to India to make some research, some expedition in Himalaya, and it was some open competition, so any of HEC student can participate in it. So sometimes we have some expeditions to Kamchatka or to other regions of Russia. So as you could see, if you're active and you would like to make some research, so everything is for you in our university. So of course we also provide opportunity to work in research laboratories and scientific centers of our campus. So also on the website you will be able to find a lot of options, and also you will be able to find names of the laboratories and to know more about their study, so what kind of research they're making. And maybe from the beginning of the study year you will be able also to be the part of this research team. We consider on our master program that the most important for students, of course, to receive real experience, because for us the most important not just provide you knowledge and diploma, but actually to make and to provide you opportunity to be in high demand on the labor market. And I will tell you a secret. So nowadays, if you will go to different websites where you could see job opportunities like Headhunter or Superjob, sometimes you will also find that some companies already started to write that they are searching for some students from some particular universities, and in most cases HEC students also in top of these universities. So this is why on our program we pay a lot of attention to internships. So normally when students have internship, so we consider, and as it is in our study plan, so internships are during third module of the second year. So the first year it will be very intensive, you will have a lot of classes, so in fact you will not have time for internship. But during the second year, after mobility, if you will take part in mobility, you will have January, February, and 2 weeks of March for your internship. So it means that for almost 2.5 months, you will be able to be part of large state corporation, consulting companies, business support companies, international organization, think tank, media, ministries, or business incubators. So actually all the doors are open for our students. So we have a lot of agreements with main companies in St. Petersburg and in Russia as a whole. So this is why we provide for our students a lot of options where to have internship. For example, this year, just recently on the 16th of March, the internship was finished, and just yesterday we received reports from the internship place, and we could see that our students were really successful, so in Russian companies such as Gazprom, Gerafarm, Ilim, and many others. And most of these students already receive a job offers or they prolong their internship. What does it mean? It means that it's very good way, good career like path, that you go to internship, and then after internship, after the defense of the master thesis, you will be able to be a full-time worker or full-time manager in different companies. So this is why, of course, we pay a lot of attention to exactly this part of education. So here on the slide you could see like main partners of the program. So some companies were renamed, but still like they are operated in Russia, and of course they are still with the HEC, and we try to send our students to these organizations. So one of the main part of our program is also international mobility. We consider that because our program has a very strong focus to the Asia-Pacific region, our students must have chance to go to these countries. Because, you know, like in Russian language we say that it's better like one time to see than 100 times to hear. And of course it works also when we talk about education. So if you are focused on China or in Malaysia or in India, of course we will do our best so you receive opportunity to have international mobility in exactly these countries. For example, this year more than 20 students from 65 so applied to mobility program, and now we are waiting for the results of the competition. So we hope that most of the students will be able to go abroad. So we could say that annually 1/3 of our students, like foreigners and Russian students, are able to participate in international mobility. So here on the slide you could see just part of the universities, but if you are interested in international mobility, so you can go to the international office official web page, and there you will find like such an options to see all of the HEC partners. So there you could see all the vivid agreements which we have with partners from different countries. I would like to point out that our students had possibility to go not just to Asia-Pacific region countries, but also to European countries if you are interested in it. So we don't have any restrictions. So it doesn't mean that if you apply to our program, you will go only to China, Malaysia, in India or Vietnam. No, if you would like to go to Italy, or if you would like to go to France and you have some relevant like master program which has quite the same focus as we have, of course we will support you in your desire to go to this country. So this is why you could see that a lot of options we have for our students. I would like to remind you that during the webinar we have a special chat where you can write your questions, and later after the presentation I will be able to answer all of the questions. So now the first part, so my presentation about program is finished. So if you have any questions about the program itself, you can add the questions in chat. And we are coming to the most interesting part, I guess, for most of the applicants. This is the information about the entrance exams. So first of all, I would like to give you first advice. So please don't worry if something will be not clear. So we always like here for you, and we are open to answer all of your questions. So this year admission campaign will be from 19th June to 25th July. So you will have more than 1 month to make your portfolio and to upload your documents. So on the every stage of admission campaign, if you will have any questions, so please don't be in silence. Don't hesitate to write us a letter or send a letter to academic director. So you can do it on the official website of the program, and we will try to answer all of your questions. So as previously, our like entrance exam has 2 parts. So the first part is competitive selection or portfolio. So you will need to collect a number of documents, and also you will need to have the interview. And the second part, it is English exam. So you will need to pass it if you don't have international English language certificate, or if you don't have results of the Russian test, which call lingua test. So if you don't have it, so you will need to pass like HEC English exam. So what is important here? So in Lingua Test is unified inter-campus exam in English, and for those of you who will pass it in frame of the HEC admission campaign, you will have just one attempt. So it is very important to understand. So if you pass it for free in frame of the admission campaign, you will have one applicant, one attempt. But of course, if you go to the website of the Lingua Test, you can find that you can pass it by fee, so you can pay for exam and then pass it, and in this case you can pass numerous time, as much as you want. So you also need to understand it clear. So normally the schedule of entrance examination, so we will publish on the official website of the HEC and on the official website of the program not later than on the 1st of June. So this is why quite soon you will receive all the information. So let's see from which documents consists our portfolio. So we have three parts: a common part, a basic part, and creative part. So what we have in common part? So first of all we have CV or resume in English. So CV is very important document, because normally, so we check your CV in which you have all the information about yourself, about publications, about your working experience, about your internship, about your mobility exchange program, so everything which you've done till nowadays. And then of course we will be able to check all the rest documents which should be proven. So for example, if in your CV you write that you have one semester in Chinese, for example, Beijing University, in this case you will need of course to apply some certificate or some document which confirm it. So all the information which you put in your CV must be confirmed by the documents which you also should apply in portfolio. So also of course we expect that in your CV you will add your actual email and cell phone number, because sometimes in some cases so commission need to contact you and clarify some questions. So this is why please try to make your CV or resume as full as possible. The next one, this is motivation letter, which also should be in English. So I would like to specify this moment, because sometimes students send us all of these documents, but documents are in Russian language. So we are English taught exams, and among the commission members we have some colleagues which don't know actually like Russian language. So this is why if we receive some documents in Russian, even if this motivation letter is just brilliant, unfortunately we must provide you 0 point for it. So this is why when you will collect all the documents for the program, please check one more time and check that all of the documents for our program is in English language. It always a pity, you know, for us to don't provide any additional points to students just because you forgot that the documents must be in English. So please pay attention to it. So let's return back to motivation letter. So what should you write in this motivation letter? So first of all, we would like to know why exactly our program and why exactly HEC St. Petersburg is interested for you. Why among the variety of different universities and different programs which are provided even in our HEC university, you decided to choose exactly us. So how our program will be able to help you in your future career, how we will motivate you, so like why you decided to be the part of the program. So this is very important part. Of course, in motivation letter you must also write about trajectory. So as I told before, so we have 2 trajectories, so this is why we encourage you to write which trajectory did you choose and why do you think that this trajectory is the best for you. The next one, this is recommendation letter. So as it is written in our portal, so recommendation letter also should be in English. But in these cases, when for example your professor or the dean of your faculty just refuse to provide the documents in English language, you can provide it in Russian, but then provide like a paper with translation. But from my experience for the last 3 years, so like our colleagues from other universities, so really loyal to students, and we never had problems that they refused to provide a recommendation letter in English. So this is why please from the beginning explain that you need it for HEC, for English program, and I'm sure you will not have troubles with it. So then the basic part of portfolio. So basic part consists of the documents. The first one is the diploma of bachelor or specialist, diploma supplement, which we also need to check, and this is important part, and interview in English. So normally, after you applied all the portfolio documents, we will check it and we will send to all of you a schedule when we will have interview. So normally we have several dates of the interview, and last year we provide 2 options for student. So you will be able to come offline to the interview in our campus in St. Petersburg on the Kantemirovskaya, or you will be able to pass interview online. We understand that we have students from different regions, from different cities, and we have, for example, quite a lot of students from Far East, from Vladivostok, from Blagoveshchensk. So of course we understand that it will be quite a challenge for you to come to St. Petersburg just for the interview. So this is why, don't worry, so interview in online format, also possible. You will not lose any points if you choose this format, so everything works well. So before providing the schedule, we will send to all of you a letter where we will ask what format of interview is interesting for you, most suitable for you. You will be able to choose, and then we will send you dates and time. So of course we also flexible. If exact date is not appropriate to you, we will try to find some another date and time slot. But again, from my experience, normally we work with it, so don't worry. So for sure you will have suitable time and date. Let's come to the next part, creative part. So what you should add here. So we expect from you bachelor thesis abstract in English or scientific essay. Quite always students are asking me, so which one better to choose. In fact, for us we don't have difference, so it's up to you which one are you interested in. So sometimes students really have a brilliant thesis, so why not to share information? So we will be with great pleasure read bachelor thesis and know more about your bachelor studies. If you would like to change it and to focus more on some aspect connected to international business in the Asia Pacific region, we advise you to write scientific essay. So again, we understand that you could be from different background. For example, previously you could study political studies, and of course this is not correlated with the topic of the program. So in this case, of course, scientific essay will be the best choice. It could be on the topic which you are interested in and which you would like to develop during 2 years of master studies, or it can be about just some topic which you are interested in. If you can't choose the topic of scientific essay, but you understand that your bachelor thesis is not that good or not correlated by the specialization of the program, so we also provide you several options about several topics of possible scientific essay. So all the information you also could find on the official website. The next one, we need from you documents confirming knowledge of English language. So if you have international certificates, TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge or Lingua test, you can apply it, and as I told before, in this case you will not need to pass exams of English language. So sometimes students asking how to do it. So first of all, I would like to remind you that some students during the bachelor had chance to go to exchange programs, and sometimes these students had possibility during their 1 or 2 semesters pass this test. Also, you had possibility to go to another country and pass TOEFL or IELTS if it is possible for you. But again, we don't insist on it, and as I told, so we have Lingua test which also acceptable and which also can bring you some additional points if you pass it on a really good level. Then we will provide additional points to those of you who have certificates confirming knowledge of Asian language. So it doesn't matter, so if you have, for example, like international certificate like topic or HSK. So even if, for example, you had some courses of Chinese, Japanese or Korean language, and you have certificates where it will be right how many hours you study this like Asian language, so we also can provide you some additional topics, points. Of course, we are really interested in students who study like Asian studies before, because we are sure that we can deepen your knowledge and provide you some very like valuable skills about like management. Then the next one, so we're expecting from you some additional documents confirming qualification. You know, like sometimes when we open portfolio, it seems to be very lonely, so students don't have any certificate. So this is why before application process you have around like several months, not half year, but several months. So you still have time to, for example, took part in some conference, to make some publication, maybe in student journal, student magazine. You have possibility to took part in some summer school. So of course we expect some additional documents from you, because we always are interested in really active and really motivated students. So if you study abroad for 1 or more semesters, if you have some diplomas from competitions, but here it's very important, you know, competitions are different. If you are a brilliant dancer or brilliant cooker, please don't provide us such diplomas. But if, for example, you are really good in some like scientific competitions, if you took part in some case championship or startup project, please provide to us this information, and we will be glad to provide you some additional points. Again, if you participate in the HEC winter or summer school, or you have some professional certificate, so of course it will provide you additional points, but please provide the documents. So the last but not the least, so we are expecting from you if you have information about existing publications. So how not to miss it? So I would like to remind you that for publication in good journal, you will receive 10 additional points. It's quite a lot. But what is the problem with publications? It's not a secret that there are a lot of journals which publish articles if you pay to these journals. So please don't do it. Because if we will find that you published in such a black journal, so we will not be able to provide you additional points, and also we will put you in some, list of students who are not reliable one. So this is why every year we tell to students, so better not to publish at all than publish in such journals. In Russian language we call them хищные журналы. So the list of journals which we recommend for publications you also could find on the official HEC website, and of course different websites from your university, different magazines and journals where you can publish students' works for free. So of course it's a very good chance to receive more additional points. So if you don't know if the journal are good or bad, so you always can contact your scientific supervisor with whom you work right now, and I'm sure your scientific supervisor can guide you and recommend some good journals which with correspondence to your topic. What peculiarities of application process we have this year? So like last year, application can be submitted for 2 programs, and you must have decision what is your first priority and what is your second priority. Why it is very important? Because if you will be accepted to the program of your first priority, so the second priority will be cancelled. So this is why you will need to decide as soon as possible which program is the most interesting for you. Because sometimes we have cases when students put our program, for example, the second priority, but then decided that not, finally he wanted to go to us. But unfortunately, because in the documents already stated that we are the second priority and he was admitted to the program which was the first priority, this student was not able to come to our program, despite the fact that both programs recommend him, and of course we also will be glad to see him as a part of our program. So this is why during the application period you will have some deadlines. So I'm sure you can find it on the official website. So when, till what time you will have possibility to change this priority. So what is also very important? So admission to the budget place could be possible only if the admission committee has the original documents on education. What does it mean? It means that like during the summertime you must be in contact with our admission committee, and if you receive the letter that you are admitted and you are invited to the program, you will need to send us documents as soon as possible. So if you are in St. Petersburg, or if you can come in person, we will expect you to come to the committee and provide documents. So if you are not from St. Petersburg and if it is problematic to come to us in person, so it's also possible to send the documents by post, but you must use some express post, or you could send it to your friends, relative, or somebody who is responsible one who can bring it to our office, so we can make you officially the student of our program. Why it is important? Because quite often students consider that after the application period, after all the exam passed, so you are free and you can go and enjoy your summer vacations. Unfortunately, no, you can do it after you provided all the documents and you signed all the documents on in the HEC. So if you of course would like to be part of the program. So this is why please plan your holidays in advance, and better to plan the vacations before the beginning of August. So during the August you will have time to pass all the exams and to be able to come and to provide all the documents to us. But again, don't worry, during every steps of the process, if you will have questions, so you always can contact our admission commission and ask all the questions, and colleagues and I will be really glad to clarify it. So here it's our last slide for today. So here, first of all, you could see my email, so you always can contact me and ask some additional questions. Also, you could see the website, official website of our program on the HEC official portal. Also here you could see QR code, and this is our VK group. So there we publish a lot of information, and also we publish a lot of information to the applicants. And we know that sometimes social networks, it's much easier and faster to receive information that every day coming to a website. So I really recommend you to be the part of our community. And of course here you could see the link where you have information about all the admission criteria for Russian students. So what else I would like to admit? Our program is not just, English taught program, but the thing is that 50% of our students are foreigners. So this is why, so you should understand that you will be in totally international community. It's not just your classes and disciplines will be in English, but you will have constantly group work with your foreign classmates. So you always will cooperate with foreign professors. So you will be in the atmosphere where English language will be daily your most important and valuable tool. So I think that for today, this is it. So if you have any questions, I will be really glad to clarify all of the issues, all of the moments, if it was not clear during my presentation. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so let's start. So Tatiana is asking, how many classes are there per week? Tatiana, it really depends. So it depends about which year of study we are talking. So during the first year of study, you will have quite a lot of classes. So normally it is around 2-3 classes, 3 to 4 days a week. So this is why the education process is very, very intensive. Tatiana asking, why is education in English? Tatiana, very interesting question. So I will explain. So first of all, our program called international business. But how you can make international business without English language? It doesn't matter about which countries we are talking about, Asia Pacific region, just about Asian countries, about Middle East, about Central Asia. So English language is the international one. Everybody, doesn't matter if you are from China, from India, from South Saudi, like Emirates and so on. So everybody like speaks English. So this is why, of course, English is one of the most important languages nowadays, especially in terms of international business. So this is why our program is taught in English. Plus, as I told before, so we have a lot of foreign students, and of course, like in most countries, English is a native language or it is a medium language of instruction. So it provides us opportunity to make our atmosphere totally international. So Elsa questions, is management related to marketing? Are there classes of marketing on the international business operation track? Yes, of course. So marketing, it is part of the management. So this is why, of course, we have some disciplines which is related to marketing. For example, this year we had a very, very interesting course, discipline which called marketing in China. And it was concentrated exactly on the Chinese social platform, how to work on them and how it can be really useful to your business. And the most important, that professor who taught this course, so Professor Anna Chelnakova-Sheika, so she has her own company and she worked in the sphere of SMM marketing with China for many, many years. So I really recommend you to go to the official website of our program, and there you could see and read interview with Anna Vitalyevna. So it's very interesting and very informative. Also, there is a question, so are there any other language classes apart from Chinese? So for nowadays we had classes of Chinese language because again, from our experience, most of the students would like to study Chinese language. So normally at the beginning of the study year we are asking students what languages would you like to study? If this year we will have more than 8 students who would like to study some other Asian language, for example, Vietnamese or like Japanese or Korean, and the students will be of equal level, we will be able to have one more language group and open for you classes, for example, of Korean language. But you know, like normally it's very difficult to combine such groups because either we have students of totally different level of languages or students want to study totally different like Asian languages. So this is why it's very, very difficult to do. But for Chinese language, we could see a huge demand, and we could see that most students would like to study exactly Chinese language. Another question is it possible to take part in student exchange program abroad? If so, what are the options? Tatiana, yes, as I told during the presentation and as I showed, so we have a number of different opportunities. We have a number of universities who worked with us. I recommend you to go to a website of our international office. There you will have very, very like deep information and detailed information about the partners which we have nowadays. So Elsa, if you sign up for HEC newsletters or like website, you will see that this year HEC like went to many countries of Asia Pacific region, and nowadays some of the agreements are in process. So for example, we expected that it will be more universities from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from China. So now we are just waiting when they will be signed up from both sides. So I'm sure that if you will be part of the HEC, and when after next year you will apply to mobility program, you will have even better like options and more universities that students have this year. Is thesis writing an obligatory part of the program? Yes, of course. So like we consider that we are master program, we are academic one, but with just more, you know, applied trajectory. So this is why preparation of term paper during the first year and master thesis during the second year, this is the essential part of the study process. Because believe me, even when we talk with our students who went to internship, or when we talk with our graduates, most of them are telling to us that, you know, it's so great that I had this like master thesis, and that I had research seminar about how to write master thesis and term paper. Because during your work as a manager, it doesn't matter what it will be the level, like middle level or senior level or just a beginner, so you always will need to make and to provide some information to your boss or to your like director. So you will need to prepare presentation, you will need to work with a huge scale of information and need to know how to sum up and quickly make some, you know, report. So this is why, of course, like if you will be active during the preparation of term paper master thesis, it will really help you in your future when you will be a working person. Tatiana, so like your question is how competitive international mobility programs are. So could you please clarify what do you mean under this question? So like if you mean if the universities are good, yes, universities are good and they provide a lot of different like classes and disciplines to students. So what do you mean about competitive? How many students apply to it? So normally a lot of students applied, but of course, like if you want to take part in international mobility, you need to have really good grades, because one of the first thing from which we make, you know, this selection process is the average grade. So this is why we are sending students to mobility only after the first year, when we see how successful was your study process, when we could see that you are a really hardworking person, hardworking students, and we can rely on you, so that during like international mobility you will also study and you will bring us more knowledge than funny stories, you know, from countries. Tatiana is really active today. Tatiana, thank you for your questions. So how far is the dormitory from the department? Is the place as a dormitory guaranteed for students coming from other cities? So we have several dormitories in the HEC, and what is important, you know, already like several years, like annually HEC dormitories are considered the best dormitories in Russia. So we have really good conditions for students, and these dormitories normally mixed up, so like international and Russian students could live together. So concerning the like opportunity for students from another cities to receive a place in dormitory, so yes, of course, we try to provide opportunity to all of the students, because we understand that it's very difficult to find by yourself place of living or just, you know, like rent some flats. So this is why, of course, if you will come not from St. Petersburg, we will try to provide you opportunity to have a place in a dormitory. So normally during the application process, so you will be asked if you need dormitory or not, and then our colleagues will contact you and provide all the options, and you will be able to choose which dormitory you are mostly interested in. The next question is it going to be stated in the diploma that the program was in English? Yes, of course, it will be in your diploma, so don't worry. Of course, you will have this like special form. And I would like also to admit that HEC diploma, it's very well known abroad and in Russia too. And our students don't have any problems to apply later to PhD programs to other universities, because our partners know that in HEC, first of all, we have very high level of education, and secondly, our students know English language is really good. Why it is important actually? Because, you know, all of your classes will be in English. You will need to read a lot of articles in English, books, all your group work, presentations, everything will be in English. So this is why if, for example, nowadays you feel that your level of English is not that, you know, like a strong one, so I really recommend you to do your best and like study English, to have more classes with teacher, or just to study by yourself. Because if you would like to be successful in our program, of course your English should be fluent, because this is the main tool which you will use during the study. The next question is about foreign professors among the faculty. Yes, of course, we have foreign professors who teach students. So some of the professors are like constant members of the HEC. It means that they are from the HEC and working here for many years. And some of the colleagues are visiting professors. So we have this practice in the HEC and we are really proud of it. For example, this year, our students from the first year course, so they will have professor from Indian University, one of the leading business school from Ahmedabad University, and also we will have one professor from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University from China. So like annually, I as academic director try to invite the best of the colleagues from abroad who can join us and for 1 or 2 weeks come and teach our students some of the disciplines. But of course, like we also have some foreign professors here, and all of our professors, I mean Russian one, so all of us, we have quite high level of English language. So I hope that you will enjoy our classes. So Tatiana is asking, so can moving from another department be seen as a disadvantage? No, we don't have like any prerequisites for our program. So we don't say that if you are like from history or if you're from Asian African studies, you will have less points during the admission process. No, so we understand that like bachelor education, it's some like, you know, foundation, it's some base. So it can be from a different region, it can be different specialization. So normally the first module, so September, October and part of November, it will be dedicated to some introduction courses. So we will try to provide you like basic understanding of management, methods and all the, you know, introduction information. So we made it on purpose so all of the students felt themselves really comfortable when just, you know, started to penetrate the process. Because I would like to admit that, you know, like even if we talk about different universities, so HEC, it's very unique place. We have totally another like structure of the learning process. We have totally another attitude to students and relationship between students and professors and study office. So this is why, of course, you will need some time to be adjust to the process and the university itself. So Tatiana is asking, so does the admission committee see applicants priority list? Yes, of course, like during the admission campaign, we could see like if our program is your first or second priority, and also we could see what is your first priority. But don't worry, so mainly we need it for statistics, just for understand between which programs normally students are choosing something. So it will not decrease your points or it will not influence to attitude of the commission members. So is a copy with an apostille considered to be an original document? Yes, of course, it can be considered as a original document. So if you need it, so you can do it. What countries do the international students come from? So Tatiana, honestly talking, like this year we have 3 times more applications than last year, and it's very interesting because like a lot of my colleagues telling me that, oh, you know, political situation and international situation, it's very difficult, so nobody will go to Russia. But it's not true. Russia and HEC particular, it's very, very popular among the foreigners. So students really would like to study in the HEC because we have a really good reputation all over the world. So I could say that a lot of students are coming from the Asian countries, such for example China, India. We have a lot of applications from African and Latin American countries, and also we have applications from European countries, mostly from Italy and Germany. So here, of course, like foreign students, they also have their own application process, so they also need to provide a lot of documents. So of course we try to invite students the same active, the same motivated as a Russian student, so you have this, you know, harmonical like atmosphere. So but normally like we have students from different countries, so like Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, so we are really international one. So if you are interested, so like we always have some open lectures or some guest lectures about which we publish some announcement in the VK groups. So you always can come to the program itself and check meet our students. And we have one more question. So from Anna, hello, is the assessment in a bachelor diploma considered a document confirming knowledge of an Oriental language and adds point? So what do you mean? So if in your diploma, in this appendix, so you have, for example, that you had Chinese language for 4 years, and normally in diploma they write how many academic hours you study Chinese, and it's enough for us. Yes, of course, it will be okay, and we provide you additional points. So if your specialization was Asian and African studies or translation or like regional studies, and you had Asian language, and you have this information in your diploma supplementary, yes, of course, it will be considered as a knowledge of Asian language, and we provide you additional points. So in this case, no, you don't need to go and to pass now HSK as soon as possible. No, it's okay. So if your bachelor education wasn't like connected with Asian language, of course, we will check supplementary and we will add you points. But again, I recommend when you will make the resume, so in your resume, better to write exactly what is the level of your, for example, Chinese or Japanese language. You can also evaluate it by yourself. Even if you don't have HSK certificate, but you consider that your Chinese is fluent, just write like Chinese language C1 or like Japanese B2. So for us, it will be one more sign, you know, not to miss that in your diploma, you have these like languages, Asian languages. But of course, like, don't worry, even if commission members, for some reason, because, you know, sometimes we have a lot of applications. Last year it was around 100. We will miss something. Later during the admission campaign, you will be able to write us back and to pay our attention that, for example, sorry, but you forgot to add me additional scores. So what does it mean? It means that please don't worry, even if something will be missed. So first of all, we will have interview during which we will clarify all the questions. And secondly, even after you receive the points for portfolio and you will see that something is wrong, for example, not enough points, you will be able to write us and ask questions. I would like to admit that application procedure and all the exams in HEC, it's very, very transparent. So we have this portfolio and we already have information how many points you will have for every document. So you by yourself also can, you know, like calculate how many points in fact you have. So I guess the only unpredictable points for you, it's like points for motivation letter, points for creative part for the essay, and points for the interview. All the rest you can calculate by yourself and you can know the preliminary results of this portfolio. Okay, so like Anna is asking, okay, it's just okay, it's the same. So Tatiana, don't apologize. So first of all, thank you so much for so many questions. It means that you are really interested to be the part of our program. And I'm sure that some of the questions, so like other students also had, but maybe too shy to ask them. So I hope that I was able to answer all of the questions which you had. So let's check. Do we have more questions? No. So we answered all the questions. Okay, if you don't have more questions, so I would like to tell you thank you for coming today to our webinar. So thank you for asking questions. And of course, I will be waiting for your documents during the application process. And I hope to see you as the students of our master program. And of course, I will meet every of you during the summer interviews. So thank you so much and have a good evening. So bye-bye.